If you've hopped on the high protein bandwagon like I have, you've seen all of the frozen high protein breakfast foods. You don't have to buy that at the store because today we're going to make high protein pancakes. First, we're going to start with 3 cups of cottage cheese. And if you don't like the texture of cottage cheese, I'm a little weird about that too. That's why I have this blender. We're going to blend everything up and you're not even going to know it's in there. Next, we're going to add 6 eggs, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, or more, 2 teaspoons brown or white sugar. I'm going to use brown sugar. You could use a combo of both. If you're trying to save on calories or sugar, just don't add the sugar at all. 2.5 cups of milk. This is almond milk, but you could use whatever kind of milk you have. And our last secret ingredient, a can of pumpkin. I love this. This does not taste like pumpkin pie in your pancakes. During the fall, though, I do add pumpkin pie spices to this, and it does taste like pumpkin pie, which is fantastic. But this just makes it really creamy. You get some added fiber, and I love it. So we're going to add it. If you don't have it, if you can't find it in the store this time of year, or you just don't like pumpkin, then just don't add it. Now that we can't physically add any more ingredients to this, we're going to mix it until it's smooth. I have gone ahead and taken the blade out of this, and now we're going to pour it into a bowl. And to this, we're going to add 4 cups of flour. I have regular all-purpose flour. You could use whatever kind of flour you want. I'm also going to add about 1/2 cup of chocolate chips to this, but if you're trying to save calories and sugar, or you just don't want them, then you don't have to add them either. And we are just going to mix it until it's all combined and you don't see any flour left. I've had 2 griddles preheating. If you don't have a griddle, you could always just use a regular skillet, and then you're going to want to grease it with whatever you have. So right now I have this stick of butter that I'm probably not going to use for anything because there's only a couple tablespoons left. I'm going to use the butter. You could also use cooking spray. You could use olive oil if you really wanted to. I probably wouldn't recommend that. But this is how I am making sure my pancakes are not going to stick to the pan. Now we're going to take our pancake mix. I have a ladle here. If you don't, you could always use a cup. And we're just going to pour it right on. You want to hear that sizzle to make sure that your pan is hot enough. And then you're just going to fill your tray or your skillet with pancake batter. I'm going to go for about 30 pancakes with this recipe because we're going to freeze a lot of them because we eat a lot during the week. Plus, I know the macros for 30, but obviously if it makes a little more or less, I'll go and change the macros in my calorie counter app for that. But this is probably the size that you want if you're going to make between 25 and 30 pancakes. So I just want to show you close up. If you can see that brown, it's starting to cook on the bottom. That's when you want to go ahead and flip them.
Are they ready?
Not yet. So I said before that we're going to make about 30 pancakes. Obviously, we're not going to eat all of those. So here I just have a sheet tray that I put a piece of parchment paper on, and anything that we don't eat today is going to go right in the freezer. So you'll see I'll just lay them out and they will freeze solid like that. And then as soon as they're frozen, I'll put them in a plastic bag with the label of what they are and the date.
We're gonna say hi everyone too.
So I just cut one open that I cooked, and I just want to show you what it looks like when it's done. It's not wet or mushy anymore, and it's delicious. Now you know how to make protein pancakes from home, so you don't have to buy them at the store. If that information was useful to you, follow me for more homesteadish tips.